Hi, my name is Shamar McGee. I'm a sophomore at the University of Denver. I am double majoring in psychology and creative writing. I'm here to talk to you today about my upcoming book, or rather books. This is my not my first one. The first book I made, called Life in Darkness, Death and Revival, was made in 2019 when I was only 17 years old for a senior project. This project was a graduation requirement and it would heavily determine whether you graduated or not. I talked to my teachers and they told me I could do whatever I want for this project. I decided to do something that I love and have always loved, which is writing, and also I've always dreamed of making a book. So I decided to make a book for my senior project. While it was fun to make this book, I didn't realize um, how important it is to have time on your side. I only had 12 weeks to make this book, so it was very difficult but also fun at the same time. In the end, I didn't think the product was the best product that I could put out. There was a lot of typos and things that I knew that I could improve on, and I vowed to myself that I would improve on the next book I make. I love writing, and I wanted to show not only my writing ability, but how much I can improve on my bookmaking skills, if you say, and other things like that. Because this is my passion. I really like writing and I really like to make people inspired by my words or to help people. So I think by my writing I can help a lot of people. And so I wanted to make the best product as I could. Um, so I've done a lot of research for how to make this book better. The first time around, I used Kindle Direct Publishing, which is KDP, which is a service that Amazon has. I'm still going to continue that. Many self-publishing authors use KDP. It's pretty much free, besides marketing, which is amazing. You can make a whole book for free without worrying about the cost of the books or of publishing services, which is one of the things that I was worried about. Um, I didn't have a lot of money. I still don't have a lot of money to make to give those money to the publishing services, and I'm glad that I was introduced to KDP through my mentor at the time for this project, which was um, a my writing journalism writing teacher from eighth grade. Um, I talked to her because she helped me a lot with my writing. So I decided she was a good candidate, but also she knew a lot about self publishing and she introduced me to KDP. So I'm really glad that she did because without that, I wouldn't know how to make a book in the first place and what services. I would be trying to cough up a lot of money to publishing services. And while there's no problem with using publishing services, I just couldn't because I didn't have the money for all that. And I basically made the book for free through KDP. Um, but like I said, I only had 12 weeks to make this book. And I think it's really good for only be only being written for 12 weeks. I didn't make the poems fresh for this book. I just used poems that I've already used or written, and I just copied and pasted them onto this. Um, but I think it's a pretty good start, especially since I only had 12 weeks to make this book. Um, it's a huge accomplishment. I was so proud, but obviously there's a lot of things that could be improved on, and I just want to continue to improve on making books and writing as I grow older. But I didn't have enough time to make a table of contents, which this really lacks. track how many poems I added. I think I miscounted by a lot. I didn't triple check for grammar mistakes before releasing the book, and I didn't even have page numbers. I know that sounds ridiculous, but again, I had to do this on top of school, and it was a lot. And then on top of that, I had like a bunch of clubs in high school. I ran four clubs in high school, so yeah, uh, it was like a lot, maybe too much. And I mean, I'm not regretful that I've written this book, because then I wouldn't know the skills that I would need now to make another book. But it definitely would have helped if I had more time, or I don't know. But I'm still proud of it. It's something that I need to improve on, but anything can need improvement. But on top of the book, I wanted to be a little extra, and I made a presentation about bullying and suicide to middle schoolers, to the same middle schoolers that go to my middle school. And at first, I thought they wouldn't care, but I was wrong. They were engaged, and they even asked questions. It was a good experience talking from my side and explaining what bullying and suicide is, and how to prevent some things by taking accountability, um, taking action whenever you see things like that. And I wanted to tie this into my book because a lot of the poems deals with suicide and depression and things like that, and mental health, a lot of things. And I thought that it would be beneficial to incorporate that to the project as well as give insight to people who might not necessarily know what those means and know how to um, prevent bullying or take action when things aren't going well, or even to ask for help when they might feel similarly to how I did when I was in middle school. So that was really great, but I did all that in under 12 weeks, so it was a lot. I Once when I released the book in April 11th, we released ebook and the paperback version. I was in like almost in tears because I've always wanted to make a book. Ever since I knew I love writing and this is what I want to do, I always wanted to make a book, and the fact that I accomplished that in such little time was like a dream come true. Um, I'm still proud of it, but I was a little, and still am a little embarrassed because of the typos and stuff. While I've talked to a lot of people who don't mind it or whatever, I just kind of knew that I wanted to make this the best or a better product at the end of the day. But I remember impressing the judge panel because we had to have a judge panel at the end of the graduation as well, or graduation project as well. And I impressed them, and I realized a lot of the work that I did in here, but I also recognized a lot of the things that I can improve on once again. And I think that's kind of good, recognizing both the good and the bad, both what I can improve on, both what I did well this first time. So soon after I graduated high school and started working my way to going to college, which or transitioning into college, um, I started working on my second book to improve on the first one. So I've been working on these books, well, technically book, for a long time now, and I took a lot of time, effort, and dedication. Like I said, I've researched a lot about KDP and their services, and I learned a lot more, and I learned a lot more techniques about writing a book and things like that. Um, It's like I've implemented so many things um, regarding like table contents, page numbers, um, spacing, which was one of the things I had, formatting, typos, things like that. So yeah, so many of these poems in this second book comes from my time in college, transitioning to adulthood, and some events surrounding the infamous year 2020. You know, um, poetry has been a big importance in my life. It's helped me in so many ways, and it helped me cope with what was going on in 2020, not only regarding COVID, but the injustice that happened with George Floyd and many other Black lives. And on that subject, I wanted to touch something that I've written in here. Um, and just keep in mind that opinions can change. And basically, I wanted to explain it. I believe that every person matters in some way or form, and that includes Black lives, that includes Latino lives, Hispanic lives, whatever, Asian lives, LGBTQ, people of people of any race, gender, sexual orientation, religion, or belief. Everyone is important to someone in some shape or form, and that's why I think that we should just say innocent lives matter, because the end of the day, innocent lives are what cause change and spark change and are what matters. So I think everyone matters, but at the same time, I do believe Black Lives Matter, and everyone should be treated the same. So hopefully, if that clears some context about what I've said in the first one, or said in some of these, I full heartedly believe in Black Lives Matter, as well as the saying that everybody matters in some way or form. That's just me personally. But I think that everyone should be given respect. And just know that these opinions can change, but I think I'm firm on this, that innocent lives matter, including Black lives, LGBTQ lives, Hispanic lives, Asian lives, etc. So that's what I wanted to say. Just to give some context. Um, because I know sometimes it can be confused, and words are sometimes misread. But that's what I wanted to say. Um, but anyway, um, so this book has a lot of what was going on with me mentally and how I was perceiving what was going on in this time. And we all know 2020 was pretty crazy, probably one of the worst years ever, but we've all made it. And I think it is important to address some of these issues and some things that we don't talk about, um, and also give people inspiration and just tell people that they're not alone dealing with these. So that's why I took a lot of effort and put a lot of hope, and I hope it shows that I put a lot of effort in these books. Um, but it's technically one book, but I'll explain it later. But that's why I'm just so proud to present to you my second book, The Colors of Me. Um, oh my gosh, it looks so pretty. I always wanted to make a book named The Colors of Me. No, have one. I talk more about it in here. Why the first one is called Life in Darkness, and this one is called The Colors of Me. And I didn't just name it the first one, The Colors of Me, but that's another thing that I wanted to improve on is talking more about myself. In the first one, I just showed a bunch of poems and I was like, read it and that's it. In this one, you get to know a lot more about me. There's more places where you get to know who I am as a person and why I like writing and why I like talking about things that aren't necessarily talked about and just get to know me more as a person. Um, but yeah, I'm so excited. So this book comes with 102 poems. I know that's a lot. My first one had a lot more, but 102 poems. That's not a lot. It's an actual easy read. It's not that long. It's about um, it's about 206 pages. That is kind of an easy read. Um, it also includes a memoir I wrote in freshman year of college, and also has my college essay that I wrote to get into college. I think that's another good example of getting to know me as a person and my struggles, and to show that you're not alone. Um, I just love the cover. I made it myself. It's so pretty using, software. Um, I think it's a great improvement. I've read it multiple times so that I can catch, little mistakes and stuff. And then I think like the formatting on it is so much better. So much better. You can actually like read words. Well, you can read words in the first one, but it was kind of hard to read because of the font and the spacing of the poems changed some of the font so they looked all over the place. These are consistent so that you can just read without hurting your eyes or squinting or anything. So I'm very happy about that. So I'm if yeah, so I'm very excited about that. But I wanted to read. The reason why I wanted to do this poem or this YouTube video was to reach as many people as I could. If one poem or one stanza or one word or one sentence inspires someone, then I have reached my goal. Um, so hopefully that I can achieve that. And this YouTube video is to help people get more expose people to my book as much as I can. So this will be on Amazon, and hopefully, Amazon does these programs to have authors' books in actual stores and bookstores and things like that. So hopefully my book will be nominated and you can see it through stores. But until then, it will be on Amazon. There's a Kindle version as well, and then paperback. Um, the paperback is $24.99, typical book pricing, and the uh, Kindle version is $9.99. So yeah, and to look for these, all you have to do is just type up my name, which is Shemarmagee. You won't see these paperbacks go live until February 1st, so that's when you should look on it. So mark the date down. But the Kindle version should be already live for pre-order. I'll link that in the description below, but they should already be there. So once when February 1st comes, if you want to write my name down or mark the tab bookmark the tab with my name on it or whatever, to save that date. That would be amazing. It's actually coming up soon, so hopefully, it won't be too hard to remember. But if it's just always come back to this video or uh, find me on Amazon or I don't know, ask someone. I think it would be. It's not going to be hard to find, but if it is, just um, you know, let me know. Honestly, I would help. I'll be glad to help as well. Um, but I did say this is technically books. Um, but it's technically one book. But the reason why I said books is because of the fact that I really wanted to improve on the first one and wanted to change a lot of the grammar mistakes on the first one. That's why I also decided to make a bundle book. So here's the next book, The Colors of Darkness. I also love the book cover as well. So The Colors of Darkness, it's thicker, and they have the similar names. I wanted to combine both the first and the second title together. And as you see, it's Life and Darkness, Death and Revival, and The Colors of Me together. Um, so I really wanted to change a lot from the first one. And so that's why I was like, might as well edit this first one and just make a bundle book. And I think that was an amazing idea because that's a lot of people did not read my first one, and that's okay. That's all right. I, that's totally fine. But now you can read this one, or my first one and my second one, um, because I edited a lot of the first one and a lot of the second one. So I just combined both of them, edit a bunch of the first one as well as the second one, and just made it one book. So in this book, there will also be a um, ebook and paperback version. The paperback version is $29.99. Um, I'll explain why in a little bit. And the ebook is $9.99 as well. So this comes with the poems in the first book, all the contents in the second book, but a few bonuses as well, which I decided to make because that would be cool. It gives you an incentive to spend a little bit more if you want to read both the books. But if you don't, you can always get the Colors of Me, or you also don't have to buy it, but you can share it with a lot of people who might be interested. So I think that you know, whatever whatever you think is best, whatever you want to do is up to you. And I wanted to give readers that option of, hey, if you didn't get my first book, here's the first book with much needed improvements as well as the second book and bonuses. But if you don't, you can always just get The Colors of Me. So this one's a little bit longer, of course, because it's two books in one. um, I did have to make it a little bit more because of the printing. um, so Amazon takes a percentage out of earnings to print the book, obviously. um, but also, um, I want to make, not I'm not doing this for money, but I would like to donate some of the money I do make to charity like I did the first time around. The first time around, I donated it to the suicide prevention, the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention, and it took me a while to do so, but I really like to donate to charities, stuff like that. So that's my goal for this one as well, to not necessarily mooch off of the book or the earnings I make of the books, but to use that money for charity. Um, but yeah, this one's longer, has bundles or has some bonuses as well. And yeah, but I'm really proud of my work. They both look so beautiful. And whether you buy The Colors of Me, The Colors of Darkness, or just share this video, that's going to be helpful to me. Um, it's going to be so helpful. And hopefully, if you do read and buy one, you are inspired and you like my writing. And if not, that's fine. But you can also find this one on Amazon as well, um, by searching up my name, Shamar McGee. Um, but either way, it would be amazing if you would support me, and hopefully you like my content. Um, but that's all I wanted to talk about for today. I know this video is kind of long, but I'd really appreciate the support. Also, if you do buy the books, if you could review them, that would give people like the incentive to read it. The more reviews on something, the more it reaches out to people. So if you would like to share this video, I'd greatly appreciate it. Any amount of support, like I've said before, is greatly appreciated. And I hope this book inspires you or someone in some shape, way, or form. Um, because that's all I hope and achieve, is to inspire others. And with that, I hope you have a good day and an even better tomorrow.